Harper Influence and Harper Audio present Black Saturday, an unfiltered account of the October 7th attack on Israel and the war in Gaza, by Trey Yingst. This is the author. A note before we begin. Don't forget to download the enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider. It contains maps and other useful information. Dedication. To my parents, Jerry and Debbie Yingst, you supported my dreams to be a foreign correspondent when no one else did. Thank you for teaching me to be empathetic to all humans, regardless of race, religion, or background. It has made me a better journalist and human. And to the journalists who risked their lives in Israel and Gaza to tell the world what is happening, you are heroes and must always be protected. And to all journalists unjustly jailed around the world, like our colleague Evan Gershkovich, we are with you. We will not rest until you are home. Prologue. My team and I were riding late at night through the lightless Gaza Strip in an open-air Army Humvee, wide open to rocket-propelled grenade, RPG fire from the darkened buildings above. Hoping against hope, we were going in the direction of the border with Israel. I was wondering what I was doing with my life. This embed, a correspondent's attachment to military units in armed conflict, already dangerous enough, had become by far the most dangerous thing I'd ever done. On what was supposed to be a 2-hour assignment, we'd been off the grid, no cell, little GPS, for more than 4 hours. We hadn't been able to check in with New York, and our bosses would be worried. I hadn't been able to text my dad in Pennsylvania. Since my mom died in 2022, he's been even more focused on my career than before, but he, of course, would be concerned as well. And now we were lost in the war zone in Gaza. I'd been embedded in order to visit Al-Shifa Hospital. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, had bombarded and partially occupied it. I'd seen sleeping soldiers on the floor of the cafeteria, go bags stashed behind an MRI machine, a gaping hole blown in the wall through which we entered the complex, so dark that as we climbed through it, I couldn't see my hands. It was critical for me to report on that scene, beyond the front line of Israel's war against Hamas. Now, though, I was questioning my choices. Exposure to danger like this had become a repeating pattern. Exactly 4 years before, to the minute, I had been reporting from Gaza City because I'd gotten trapped there when a conflict broke out between Israel and Islamic Jihad. Tonight, I was back, and the situation was even more perilous. Going in, we had ridden through the war zone in an armored personnel carrier, APC, on roads and paths cleared by the Israeli military. And that had been tense enough. Then, after the hospital visit, the officers at the staging area hadn't been able to find us an APC for the trip out. Our only option, open-air Humvees, with a bunch of young soldiers. And though I knew the soldiers were trying to keep us safe, they kept doing everything wrong. As the tires spun in mounds of sand and dirt, they told us to keep our seatbelts on. But Sean, our security member, muttered to me and Yaniv, the cameraman, not to listen. Stay unbuckled. If we got hit or ambushed, we'd need to be able to bail quickly. The soldiers argued about which way to go, took dark streets, not yet fully under the control of the Israeli military, and turned the headlights on, then off, then on again. My focus went into hyperdrive, as it always does when I'm in danger. I could see better, hear better, smell better. Decomposing people buried under the rubble, the stench hitting me in the face. Body tense, I gripped the Humvee's metal cage. With each bump, my left shoulder slammed the ammunition box mounted on the vehicle's edge. It seemed more and more likely that we'd never get out. How did I get myself into this? What am I doing? At this point, the war had been underway for nearly 40 days. 2.5 weeks earlier, Israeli ground forces entered the Strip to take the battle to Hamas in the aftermath of the October 7th attack and massacre. Active ground fighting was unfolding in numerous locations. Even before October 7th, it had been a year of even greater tension and conflict than usual between Israel and Gaza. A Palestinian territory lying between the Israeli border and the Mediterranean Sea, blockaded by Israel, governed by Hamas, an Islamic fundamentalist organization avowedly dedicated to Israel's destruction. Gaza has been a frequent source of...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?